And I think there's a difference to make between the political government arena and then the spiritual government arena. And though we're not part of the political arena in terms of Europe now, I believe that there's a growing spiritual governmental arena that God is taking us into. Have you got any thoughts on that, Drew?
Interesting. Very much I would agree with you about the spiritual government. I believe that the spiritual government is far more important than the natural government.
Yeah.
I think the natural government starts to fall into place as the spiritual government takes its place. So that's very, very important.
Yeah.
That particularly as leaders in different nations start to speak and release the words of God into those nations, I think we're going to see a huge change. And that is why it's great for me to be part of these meetings, because it does give us an opportunity to speak about what's going on, but start to prophesy into those nations and release something from the very heart of God that I believe will change the future, for future generations.
Yeah. And you know, Strategos is a forum, and it comes from an old Roman term, because the Strategoi was like the apostolic lead. They were the ones that were in the most vulnerable position, and yet they carried the most authority in order to move the flanks, that is the Roman flanks in terms of warfare. They were the ones who were the most experienced. They were the ones who had achieved the most victories, and yet they were positioned the most vulnerable. So they were taking the people forward on the right-hand side of the flank, and at the back, at the left hand, was another Strategoi, and they kept the flank actually closed together. And so that's why we sort of sense that we should call it Strategoi, is because we're wanting to move forward, but we're wanting to move together. Now listen, you may be a leader in this nation or in the nation of Europe, and maybe you're looking for a forum for you to have a voice and for you to look at contributing in that spiritual government of how we can move forward. And maybe you just need to connect with us. And to do that, just connect through our webpage, and you'll see Strategoi in there. And just send us your details, and we will look at our next meetings and being able to invite you in to be part of that forum. It's not a network. We are all together in it. We are a group of leaders that, yes, I call the meetings together because somebody has to call it together. But when we come together, it is a forum that we sit together and we discuss and share the revelation that God is giving to us.